So everyone seems to be saying that Kamala Harris was the winner of last night's debate. And whilst I will say that Trump failed to bring up a lot of the potentially very good attacks that he could have done against Kamala Harris, and there were some key responses that he missed out, and there were some places where Kamala Harris actually made a few good points, I'll give her that, but I want to question whether this was a fair debate and whether specifically the moderators from ABC of the debate who were jumping in and fact-checking the candidates, whether they were actually doing their job properly. Because a lot of the reason why Trump is appearing to have been weak in this debate is where moderators jumped in and told him that he was wrong. But were they going after him more than Kamala Harris? Well, I want to bring your attention to this tweet I saw, which actually went through all of the places where the ABC fact checkers failed, and it seems like they are often failing in Kamala Harris's favour, which I think is very, very fishy, I have to say, ladies and gents. So take a look at this. Top 5 lies that the ABC News moderators refused to fact-check or falsely fact-check during the debate. 1. Mandatory firearm buybacks. Kamala Harris told Trump to stop lying about her wanting to confiscate firearms. Harris had previously stated multiple times that she wants to launch a mandatory buyback program. And I'm going to show you a video in a moment which shows you the evidence of her saying these things, which this guy posted. The ABC moderators did not jump in and correct the fact that she was lying. 2. Fine people hoax. Kamala Harris claimed Trump called neo-Nazis very fine people. This hoax was debunked by Snopes, but the ABC moderators let it slide. What a surprise. They said absolutely nothing. And there are more. There was quite a lot of talk about abortion in this debate, where Kamala Harris has been said to have done better than Trump, seems to be the word on the street. But Trump claimed that babies were killed outside of the womb in failed abortions. Under Tim Walz, babies born alive in botched abortions are allowed to be left to die. 8 babies who survived abortions in Minnesota were abandoned and sadly perished under Walz. The ABC moderators simply said Trump was lying and moved on without adding context. Yes, the moderators, they jumped in and they said, nope, there is no state where it is legal to kill a baby or let them die after birth. But seems like from what this guy's tweeting that maybe that's not the case. 4. Defund the police. Kamala Harris laughed when Trump said she wanted to defund the police. During a previous interview, Harris said having more cops on the streets is wrong. She also supported taking police officers out of schools. The ABC moderators said nothing. And last but not least, bloodbath hoax. Kamala Harris claimed Trump said there would be a bloodbath if he is not elected, insinuating that his supporters would start killing people. This is completely false. The comment was made during a rally where Trump said there would be a bloodbath for the American auto industry if he is not elected. Oh, and guess what? The ABC moderators said nothing. Now, let's just take a look at the video where you'll see some evidence of this.
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program. It's got to be smart. We got to do it the right way.
Do you believe in the mandatory buyback of quote-unquote assault weapons?
I do believe that we need to do buyback.
Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
Look, right. So
here's the thing, defund the police. The issue behind it is that we need to reimagine how we are creating safety. And when you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety. For too long, the status quo thinking has been you get more safety by putting more cops on the street. Well, that's wrong.
And then also, again, what we need to do about demilitarizing our schools and taking police officers out of schools.
On that point, Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
Mexico has taken, over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it, went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
We have the receipts, ladies and gents. We have all the evidence right there that the ABC moderators failed and that Kamala Harris was lying on plenty of things. Those moderators did nothing, but they were so quick to pull up Trump on so many things. And I think that that had a huge impact on how he came across in this and how people have judged the debate. People are saying Kamala Harris had won, but, you know, I think if the moderators were fairer, maybe Trump would have come out on top. As I said, I think that there are places in this debate where Trump could have done better, right? Trump had the golden opportunity to go back to Kamala Harris's past. And although at one point he called her a Marxist, you know, a lot of people, they don't really actually properly know what this word means, and he would have been better to actually delve into specific policies that were absolutely bonkers that she supported in the past, places where she failed in the 2019 campaign. There's so much that he could have picked up on that he simply failed to, so he could have done better, but I'm not sure Kamala Harris would have been considered the winner of this debate if those moderators actually did their job properly. The mainstream media, it is so biased, ladies and gents. We cannot have one presidential debate in the home of democracy, as many will say that, you know, America is even more passionate about democracy than we are, even though I think it's far more corrupt than ours, but because they were a new country that built that constitution from scratch with so many proper principles in there. They love their democracy, but the mainstream media there, they can't even give us a fair debate. This is unacceptable, ladies and gents. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this debate was rigged or at least biased? I want to know what you think, and tell me, do you think after this Trump is toast, or do you think that he's still going to win? Tell me what you think. Is he going to defy the polls? Is it going to be neck and neck, or is it going to be a home straight for Kamala Harris? I very much hope not. I'm Chloe Dobbs. This has been another video for Reason. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel and you press the notification bell so you do not miss out on the next video. And make sure you watch our podcast tonight if you're watching this today on Wednesday. We will be live at 7 or shortly after if we're slightly late. We'll see you then.